Hello, this is Valerie Gaddis again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to show you today one I just acquired from Eastern Kentucky. John Childers picked it up for me in the very eastern part. It's a double post brace, which I'll show you a little closer before long. It has some problems that we're going to look at. The double post is not very common, and it presents some challenges all its own if it's not been in use or alignment. White Oak Grandma on Ravelry says double post brace are not that common. They mostly originated from Virginias. We see them in Kentucky, North Carolina, and that's quite appropriate. This one's Eastern Kentucky. She thought perhaps a double post brace started out with the early Virginia wheels that we see that are tensionless that have double post brace, which I have one, and they're wonderful, but the double post presents problems sometimes. So this one from Eastern Kentucky we're going to look at closer. There's a few puzzles with it. Perhaps some things aren't original with it. What caught my eye, I will show you. And there's also some things that we'll look at closer. And we'll talk about some possible solutions or what might work to get it back in functional condition. So I'll leave it also on some of the Facebook groups as a puzzle. What would they do? So let's follow along. We're getting a few light showers, so you'll see a bit of water on the wheel. One of the first things I had to fix was it was missing a few wooden pegs, spokes, and you can tell obviously which ones are new. I replaced those right away. Those are just whittled from a oak dowel to fit, and they're a little bit tapered also, so when I tapped them in, they would wedge in nicely. One of the other problems that we need to look at, and this is a puzzle, think about a solution here, and I'll show you what's going on. This is the join. The electrical tape was put on by a prior owner. We see what might possibly be glue in this nail. I've not taken it apart yet. This is a wood peg to a spoke, and if I bring it around, we'll look at it closer. Let me get into focus here. It moves up and down and makes a dandy little space there. What's your solution to that? We need to talk about that. Now let's just look real quick at the slider block tension. The mother of all holes are very tiny. Someone suggested that was for the spindles. I don't think so. For one thing, we have dark staining here, which probably indicates a leather tannin or some other device that stained it. And those holes are just so tiny, they would not even be able to support a spindle to go through the hole. And the mother of all swivels easily. That's easily cured. Does the post match the wheel post? That's a question. Or is it a replacement? Slider block itself is really quite ornate. Double Rolag pins. And if we can go down here and I can get it in focus in the light, we have just a little bit of stamping. It says JWB 1868 for JL. Who knows? I have no idea. The real problem as you see it. How do we get that wheel in alignment? We have double post brace. Debbie from Mount Vernon suggested perhaps the mother of all was not original, but the mother of all probably was offset. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But we also need to look at the double post brace. What would you do? It has been varnished. It looks like the braces are going to swivel a bit. And unfortunately, the post has been pegged in, and we've tried to remove the peg, It looks like perhaps the peg was glued. We're down to the point, I think we're just going to have to bore it out. So there are several questions and puzzles. What would you do? Use it as a discussion point in a group, and we'll take a look at it later.